I'm Carrie Ann Stout, founder and CEO of Vinco Bar Exam Coaching. And in this video, we are going to learn how to get your LinkedIn profile in tip-top shape. So I personally think that LinkedIn is the most underrated of all the social media sites. It's my favorite one. It's the one I use the most often. And I think it's a really great place for law students to be in order to grow their professional network, which is really important when you are getting out there in the job market, whether you're looking for an internship or a job or some other opportunity. LinkedIn is a really great place to start building your personal brand and getting yourself out there and making those connections. So in this video, we are going to cover a few tips that you can use to get your profile into professional looking shape that's going to show who you are to the people that you're networking with and to help you get those opportunities. Tip number one is to get familiar with the lay of the land of LinkedIn. It's not your typical social networking site, right? It's not where you're going to go to share cat memes or pictures of your pets or kids. It is a professional networking site. And in fact, their mission statement, which I have here, is LinkedIn's mission is simple: connect the world's professionals to make them more productive and successful. So you're not going to be using LinkedIn the same way that you're using Facebook or Instagram or other forms of social media. And so before you start doing anything, connecting with anyone, building out your own profile, I highly recommend that you look around and see how other people in your field, the legal field, are using it, right? It's not about copying what other people are doing. And we're going to talk about ways, in fact, that you want to stand out, but it's about standing out in the right way and not the wrong way. Tip number two is to look the part. Now, that doesn't just mean with your picture, although we will talk about that. It means getting your profile looking complete and ready to have viewers. So yes, part of looking the part is getting your profile picture and cover picture up to date. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean a stuffy corporate photo. This is your profile and it should reflect your professional side. But it doesn't have to be a professional headshot. If you have one, that's great. Just something that shows how you would show up to work, how you would show up to a job interview, right? And so that's probably not like pajamas or a bathing suit or something like that. But it definitely doesn't necessarily have to be a suit and tie or something very formal either, right? Just how you would present yourself at maybe a networking event or on your first day of work is how you want to be representing yourself in your profile picture. Same thing with your cover photo, right? A nice plain picture of a landscape or background or something would be fine. It doesn't have to be fancy. In business, I usually use that as a place to put updates about things that are going on with Vinco, for example. But if you're mostly using it to connect and look for job opportunities, basic is better. Something clean, nice looking, plain, all of that's fine. You really, with your cover photo, you just don't want it to be a distraction. And then the last part of looking the part is getting your profile filled out, right? Not all sections are going to apply, but you want to get that job history, that education history, whatever organizations or clubs or things like that that you belong to. You want to fill out your headline. You want to make sure that you have everything up to date. And you can go into a little more detail here than maybe you would on a resume. You can show a little bit more of your personality than you would on a resume because LinkedIn's more interactive, right? But you want to make sure that it's complete so that people who land on your profile know who you are, what you're about, what your experiences are, and really can get a feel for you as a person through their connection with you there. So looking the part is, yes, about your picture, but also about having that profile and all of the important parts of the profile completed. Tip number three is to create content. Now, that's one of the things that makes LinkedIn different from a resume is that you actually can go on there and interact with people. and have people interact with you. And one of the ways that people are able to interact with you is if you create content. Now, does that mean that you have to start blogging every day or even every week? No, of course not. But it's a good idea to write a few posts or articles that are related to your professional interests and share them on LinkedIn. You can also share other people's articles and other content that you find online or that you hear about. You can share either link to it or discuss it there as well. This doesn't have to be something that's taking a lot of extra time or energy. Or you creating that content personally all of the time. But if you just create your static profile and have it there and you never post anything and you never create any content, people aren't going to be drawn to your profile. You're not going to be showing up in their newsfeed. So really, it's just going to be like having an online resume, which is fine. And that's better than not utilizing this tool at all. But if you're really trying to get out of the most out of this social network, right? And that's really what it is. You need to be showing up there and creating content. Tip number 4 is to engage with other people's content, right? So if you're going to show up and create content in hopes that people are going to engage with you, you need to return that favor. So make sure that you're going through your news feed and you are liking, sharing, and commenting on posts that are interesting and relevant to you and your professional career, right? Now, a reminder, people can see what you engage in. So you want to make sure that whatever it is that you're liking, sharing, and commenting on, that you're okay with your whole professional network seeing that, right? It's not my job to tell you what is or isn't appropriate to interact with, but just make sure that whatever it is that you're doing, you're aware of the fact that your network can see, oh, Carrie Ann Stout liked this post or commented on this post. And if that's not something that you would bring up or talk about at work or want people to know that you're interested in, then don't engage with that on LinkedIn. But on the flip side, you should be engaging with content that is interesting to you and is relevant to the reasons that you're using LinkedIn to grow your professional network. Finally, tip number 5 is to always be connecting. Now, you can get everything set up on LinkedIn, have a beautiful profile with lots of information about you. You can be creating content. But if you don't have any connections or you have very few connections, again, it's not really serving its purpose as being a social network. So you want to make sure that you are growing your LinkedIn network by connecting with other people, either in your field or related fields, to start growing that network for potential job opportunities or internships or other opportunities, right? You never know what's going to come up, but many of the ways that people get opportunities is through their connections, and LinkedIn is a great way to make those connections. So be sure that you are starting with connecting with the people who you already know, right? Your classmates, your professors, people you've interned with, friends from high school and college. And then as you go out and network and meet people, make sure that you're following up and connecting with them on LinkedIn to reaffirm that connection and engage with each other's content, so that if some opportunity comes up that might be great for you or great for them, you can share that with one another. So I hope you'll use these tips to either create your LinkedIn profile from scratch or give a little makeover to the one that you already have. And if we're not connected on LinkedIn, you can find me over there. I am actually really active on LinkedIn. I post a lot. I will even share this video on LinkedIn, which is very meta. So if we're not connected there, I hope that we will be after this, and I will see you in the next video.